Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. So if you have never been here, I would just like to say that this is a little podcast on various subjects, various people, various things in history. That's what I plan on doing that are very interesting for me, and I hope they are interesting to you as well. These podcasts are geared to people that are intermediate and all the way up to advanced level. We work on vocabulary, listening skills, and various parts of grammar. And I hope that you really enjoy the subject matter, okay? Because they really interest me. So what I'd like to get into today is Elon Musk, okay? So Elon Musk for me is just an amazing character, okay? He is the richest person in the world right now. He is worth somewhere along the lines of 320, 350 billion and counting. And right here we have the various ventures that he has taken part in the past, and what he's doing now and what he's planning on doing in the future. And some names I'm sure that really speak loudly to you, probably PayPal, SpaceX, Tesla, and lately in the news, it's been Twitter. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Elon's childhood. Musk was born on June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. As a child, Musk was so lost in his daydreams about inventions that his parents and doctors ordered a test to check his hearing. So for those of you who are here for the first time, where it says check his hearing and it's white italics, these are the words that we work on for vocabulary, and you will see the meaning later on in the video. If you'd like to stop and move on into the video to see what these words actually mean, you can do that and come back. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on vocabulary right now. At about the time of his parents' divorce, when he was 10, Musk developed an interest in computers. He taught himself how to program, and when he was 12, he sold his first software. So we could see in Elon, his parents could see in Elon, that there was something special there. Even though his father was an engineer, he wasn't very interested in buying a computer at home. This was something that bothered Elon, and I think he had actually saved up money to buy his own first computer. Okay, now where it says they checked his hearing, it's true that his mother actually, after they had figured out that there really wasn't any kind of hearing problem per se, she could see at times when he would go into these kind of states. So when he would go into those kind of states, she would just leave him be until he kind of got out of it and was back with everybody on the same page. Okay. Now he was very introverted and he was very bookish. In fact, he says that books brought me up, and then my parents. He was always reading a book. And because he was so introverted, because he was so bookish, okay, and he was short for his age, and he was the youngest one and all of that, he got very, very bullied to the point where he was pushed down the stairs and he was in the hospital. Yeah, he was in bad condition, actually. So he was very bullied. But as he was getting older, he was getting bigger, of course. He learned karate, he learned wrestling, so he could start to defend himself. Now, he had a brother and a sister. Elon is the oldest child of the family. And he was living, until he was 10 years old, he was living in South Africa. His parents got divorced. He moves to Canada with his mother because his mother is Canadian. And then at around 11, I believe, he went back to South Africa. He didn't want to go to the army, though. In South Africa, there's a mandatory army service, excuse me, but he didn't want to be a part of that at all because of the apartheid there. And he was very against that. So he decided that he was going to go back to Canada. What he really wanted to do, he really wanted to go to the United States, but he couldn't because he was an American citizen. So he could obtain his Canadian citizenship and then have it be easier to get into the United States. Okay, so via the path of Canada, he got into the United States. So speaking of his parents divorced in 1980. And it was a very, very tumultuous relationship. There was a lot of violence in his childhood. His father would beat his mother very much. And then you also had the bullying at school. So really, it was like he couldn't get a break anywhere. You know, there was violence at home, there was violence at school. So it's really, really very sad. His mother was a model. So if you see her here in this picture, she is a very, very good looking older model. She was a model. She is a model, actually. And after the divorce, she wanted to go back to Canada. So she goes back to Canada, but Elon felt sorry for his dad being alone back in Pretoria. So he said, I want to go back. I want to stay with my father. I feel sorry for him being by himself. And he did. And it was the one thing that he regretted, because he describes him as a terrible human being. He says that almost every evil thing that you could possibly think of, he has done. So to this day, he is estranged from his father. Okay, he just doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And he doesn't talk a lot about his father. I tried to find videos, but what I did find from Wikipedia is that Elon's father is a very strange character in that, from what I read, after they got a divorce, Elon's father married somebody else that had 2 kids. I think a boy and a girl. So fine, okay, great. But when the girl was 17 years old, he had a child with her. So he has a child with his stepdaughter. So that tells me a lot. That tells me enough. That tells me enough about his character for me to understand where Elon is coming from. And that might just be the tip of the iceberg. So we don't know. We don't know. Okay, so let's talk about the business venture part, the entrepreneur part of Elon. So along with his brother, Musk founded Zip2, which is an online business directory. Now, in the United States, we had what was called the Yellow Pages, or the phone book. So before Google, we had to go into the Yellow Pages and look under, look for the last name of the person or the business name, and that's how we would get phone numbers. Well, now Elon comes along with his brother, and they have basically the alternative to the standard Yellow Pages. So he sold this company for over $300 million to Compaq Computer Corporation. He was ousted as CEO in 1996 because they felt that he wasn't an experienced enough leader. They wanted somebody with more experience to be CEO. So after selling Zip2, he invested some of that into X.com. So X.com, an online bank, launched with three other co-founders, and it was very innovative for that time, right? No surprise there. He actually gave money. He actually incentivized signups. So if you would sign up, you would get a certain amount of money, okay? And basically, this was the first of its kind where you could actually transfer funds digitally, okay? This was at a time when people were not trusting the internet very much, like with a credit card information, and nobody wanted to give their credit cards online and whatnot. So this was like a much easier way to transfer funds without going through the traditional banking infrastructure. So X.com merged with Confinity and formed PayPal. Okay. And the funny thing is that when PayPal first came out in 1999, it was considered one of the worst business ideas. Okay. So, it goes to show that if you adhere to your beliefs, nobody can stop you. Okay. So he was the CEO, again, of this company. He did get married, and in 2000, when he was on honeymoon, apparently the head office was trying to contact him, and they couldn't find him. I guess he had everything turned off. He figured, this is my honeymoon. I don't know what he was thinking, but they ended up replacing him as CEO because they needed somebody to be there constantly. So Musk sold his PayPal shares to eBay for a hefty $1.5 billion. Okay, here I have some quotes. I love this one. This one is awesome. Don't confuse schooling with education. I didn't go to Harvard, but the people that work for me did. Very cool. And your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. This guy never stops. So here is where I have the vocabulary. Okay, so you can take a look at words that possibly might be new for you. Okay, you can stop it here, and I will move along. So I wanted to show you just a little video of Elon speaking, and it seems like he is so driven by his dreams. He's so driven. Nobody can stop this guy. Nobody can stop him. Excuse me.
You had that third failure in a row. Did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
But when critics say you can't do this, your answer to them is?
We've done it.
I love that quote. I absolutely love that quote. I just think he is amazing. And this is part one of Elon Musk, because there's so much to say about him that I couldn't, it would be too long of a video. So I'm going to be doing part two. We will be discussing Tesla and SpaceX and Twitter in the next video. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's have some true false. Musk's father has struggled economically. I think this is false. Musk's father he did have money. He does have money. Okay, he has money because he was into gems. He was into real estate. So yes, he did have money. He did have money. Let's go to the next one. Musk left to live with his father because of the bad relationship he had with his mother. This is false. He did not have a bad relationship with his mother. He has a very, very good relationship with his mother. She was always super supportive of him. And they just have a great relationship. It's just at that time, and Elon was young, so he couldn't really understand the complexity of his father's character, maybe. He felt sorry for him, and that's why he went to live with him. Musk was ousted as CEO from 2 companies. This is true. He was. Let's go to the next one. True or false? In order to sign up to X.com, you had to give money. This is false. X.com gave money for signups. They incentivized signups, which was a really, really effective marketing tool. True or false? Elon grew up in a violent household. Unfortunately, this is true. Unfortunately, this is true. Elon tried to make friends by being very friendly and open. This is false. He was very introverted, very bookish, and that's why he was bullied so badly when he was younger. Elon went to the University of South Africa. This is false. He did not. He left because he didn't want to go to mandatory service for the army in South Africa. So he went to Canada. True or false? His mother was South African. Well, this was a freebie. This was easy. No, of course not. She is Canadian. So I hope that you enjoyed this little video. As I said, I will be doing the second video on Elon Musk. I find him absolutely fascinating. And we'll talk about going to Mars and electric cars and exciting things that Elon is doing right now. So thank you for being with me. Bye-bye.